Chapter 7, Polite Rules. I looked down at myself. My bunny feet were bigger than clown feet. Also, my ears were floppish, and my bunny hands looked like giant paw mitts. I held them out in front of me. I could take a pie out of the oven with these things, I said. Lucille skipped around me and clapped. Yay, 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 we have a bunny, we have a bunny, she sang real excited. After that, she grabbed my bunny paw, and she started skipping me to the flower garden. Only too bad for me, because skipping with giant bunny feet doesn't actually work that good. And so kerplop, I fell right over in the grass. Some of the children started to laugh. Lucille shooed them away. Then she quick hurried to pick me up, only her dress started to get wrinkly, and so she dropped me in the grass again. And she smoothed her skirt very neat. Plus also she fluffed her hair and she shined her shoes. And after that she yelled to her daddy real urgent. Daddy, Daddy, the bunny's down. Come get the bunny. Come get the bunny. Daddy ran over and picked me up. Then he started carrying me to the flower garden. It felt embarrassing up there. I tapped on his head. This does not actually make me feel like a celebrity, I said. Daddy kept on going. I tapped on his head again. No one actually carries Santa, I said. Just then we got to the flower garden. Daddy put me down and he showed me the photographer. His name was Bud. Bud sat me in my bunny seat and he arranged my floppy ears. After that, he went to his camera and he took my picture. Beautiful, he said. Gorgeous. I smiled. I liked this, Bud. Pretty soon the children lined up to get their pictures taken with me. And guess what? My bestest friend named Herbert was the very first one in line. He zoomed to my seat very happy. I think you look nice in that bunny costume, he said. You don't even look stupid hardly. I smiled again. Thank you, Herbert. You don't look stupid too, I said back. After that, both of us said cheese, and Bud took our picture. Lenny came next, and after Lenny came Jose, and after Jose came Shirley, and after Shirley came all of the other children in room 1, except for not May. Instead, May sat in the grass all by herself because she was not a celebrity, of course. I said cheese a million times. Bud kept on saying beautiful and gorgeous to me. I felt very puffery inside. I am an excellent celebrity, I told him. I am making these children's day. Bud laughed. I do not know why. Finally, all the pictures got taken. Bud shook my palm at goodbye. I will miss him. After that, Herb and I walked back to the picnic grounds, and wait till you hear this. Lucille's mother was passing out baskets for the egg hunt. I started to run to get my basket, only what do you know, kerplop, I tripped and fell in the grass again. The children laughed some more. I pretended I didn't care. It's fun to fall, I said real stupid. Even Herb rolled his eyes at that one. Lucille's mother helped me up and gave me a basket. I looked at her very upset. Yeah, only how am I supposed to hunt for eggs in these big giant bunny feet, I said. I can't even run in these clumsy things. Plus also I can't tackle or scuffle. Mother looked shocked at me. Tackle, she said? Scuffle? Oh my, no, this is going to be a polite egg hunt, Junie B. There will be no running or tackling or scuffling. We're going to behave like little ladies and gentlemen. Just then there was a loud commotion behind me. I turned around. May was pointing and yelling at Sheldon and Lucille. Stop whispering secrets, Lucille, she shouted. You're telling Sheldon where the golden egg is. I know you are. I'm telling your daddy. I'm telling your daddy. Daddy rushed over there and separated those guys. This bickering has got to stop, he said. If you three can't behave yourselves, you will not be hunting for eggs at all. I smiled at that comment. That would be a nice development, I thought. After he finished scolding them, Lucille's daddy blew a whistle and he told us to line up at the starting line. Everyone zoomed past me. I lifted my feet and stepped real careful. Then finally I got there and the daddy started telling us the egg hunt rules. Rule number 1, he said, no running. Rule number 2, no pushing, pulling, or grabbing. Rule number 3, no trampling the flowers and plants. And finally, rule number 4, do not go anywhere that is roped off. He looked up and down the line at us. Does everyone understand the rules? He asked. I thought for a minute, then I raised my hand. Also, there is no tackling or scuffling, correct? I said, because I have already been informed about that situation. Daddy looked odd at me. Well, of course there's no tackling or scuffling, Junie B, he said. That goes without saying. I thought some more, then I pointed at my giant bunny feet. Plus, there should be no tripping the bunny, right? I asked, because the bunny is wearing unfair feet. Daddy frowned. There's no tripping anyone, Junie B, he said. I nodded. Yes, but there's especially no tripping the bunny, correct? I asked again. Daddy sucked in his cheeks. Okay, fine. There's especially no tripping the bunny, he said. Now, may I continue? I smiled. Daddy continued. The hunt will begin when I count to 3, he said. You will have 30 minutes to hunt for eggs. When I blow my whistle, you will all stop hunting immediately and you will bring your baskets back to the table. Roger raised his hand. What's the prize for finding the most eggs, he asked. Lucille's mother smiled. Then she held up a big wad of flowers. The person who has the most eggs will receive this beautiful bouquet for his or her mother, she said. They're irises from our garden. I picked them myself. Aren't they lovely? Roger looked at the irises. I think my mother would rather have a set of Power Rangers, he said. Lucille's mother made squinty eyes at him. That meant no Power Rangers, I believe. Just then, Daddy blew his whistle. Okay, is everyone ready to start? He hollered. Ready, we hollered back. Ready, ready, ready. And so the daddy raised his hand in the air, and 1, 2, 3, the egg hunt was started. The children ran. They ran everywhere, I tell you. They ran to and fro and up and down and back and forth and here and there. Also, Roger ran sideways and Lenny ran in a circle. I watched them very fascinated. Some of the children were tackling and scuffling. Sheldon went through a shrub. That's when Lucille's daddy blew his whistle again. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Everyone came back here. Come back here right now, he shouted real mad. Everyone came back. Sheldon had a stick in his ear. He sputtered and stuttered and pointed at May. She pushed me. She pushed me. May pushed me through a bush. May stomped my foot. No, I did not, Sheldon. I did not push you. You pushed yourself, she said. She turned and looked at the daddy. It was the darndest thing you ever saw, she said. He shoved himself right through that shrub. Daddy stood there a real long time. Then he walked to a picnic bench and he sat down real slow. And he hit himself in the head. I went over and tapped on him. I would just like to point out that the bunny did not run, I said. The bunny was the only one who walked. May overheard me. That's because the bunny can't run or the bunny falls down, she called. The bunny should not get credit for that. The daddy hit himself in the head again. I walked back to Herbert. He looked kind of worried. The daddy is coming unglued, he said. I nodded. Yes, I said. The daddy is going to need backup, I believe. Backup is the grown-up word for the police. Might need to come possibly. And guess what? Me and Herb were not the only ones thinking that either. Because just then, Lucille's Nana hollered real loud. Enough, she hollered. I have had enough of this nonsense with you children. Then she cupped her hands around her mouth and she shouted out a brand new rule. It was called, if there's any more running or fighting, she is going to call the cops. All of the children did a loud gulp. I looked at Herbert. That new rule seems a little harsh, I said. Only guess what else? The new rule worked, I think, because pretty soon Nana started the egg hunt again. And this time, no one ran at all. No one even walked hardly. Instead, we all behaved like little ladies and gentlemen, and we hunted for eggs very polite. May stuck to Sheldon like glue. I tried to stick to him too, but my giant feet could not keep up. May kept on grouching. You're not going to get the golden egg before I do, Sheldon. Even if you know where it is, I'll still beat you to it, she said. I'm all over you like flies on egg salad. Sheldon rolled his eyes. But I don't know where the golden egg is, May, he said. I've already told you that I don't know anything at all. I cut my mitts around my mouth. I believe you, Sheldon. Kevin, stop. Kevin is digging in my chair. You stop. Bad. Bad. After that, I hurried to catch him because I definitely thought he knew something, of course. Sheldon turned to wait for me. Then all of a sudden, he glanced down at the ground and he did a loud gasp. I see one, I see one, I see one, he shouted. May and I turned to look. There was a bright green egg under the bushes. Sheldon clapped and laughed. Then he hurried over to pick it up. But whoosh, swoop, scoop. May ducked underneath him speedy fast, and she picked it up instead. I got it, I got it, I got it, she screeched. Then she put her egg in her basket and danced all around. Sheldon's face got sputtery mad. But before he could even yell at her, he did another gasp. I see one, I see one, I see one, he shouted even louder than before. Then he clapped his hands, and he laughed real happy, and he hurried over to pick it up. But whoosh, swoop, scoop. May beat him again. Two, now I have two, she hollered. She jumped in the air and kicked her feet. I swooped, I'm a swooper, I swooped, she said. She ran back to Sheldon and leaned in his face. I knew I would beat you at this game, she said. Now I have 2 eggs, and you and Junie B have... She leaned her head into our baskets. Let me count. 0. You have 0, and I have 2. 2 to 0. 2 to zippity zip 0. Sheldon looked at me real upset. I frowned my eyes at him. Helpful hint, I said. Stop shouting. I see one. Sheldon pointed at his magic egg shirt. But I just don't get it, Junie B, he said. My grandpa said that the egg is with me. So why isn't this magic shirt working? I looked closer at the egg dribble. Maybe it's not lucky, I said. Maybe it's just dirty. Sheldon slumped his shoulders. Then he reached down his finger and he flicked off the egg. Only wait till you hear this. Just as he flicked it, his eyes got big and wide again. This time, I hurried over to cover his mouth with my hand. But Sheldon shouted right through my palm. I see one, I see one, I see one, he shouted. Then before he could even move his feet, whoosh, swoop, scoop. May grabbed egg number 3. She twirled in a happy circle around us. 3 to 0, 3 to 0, it's 3 to 0, she yelled. Sheldon stood real still. Then very slow, he put down his basket and he stretched out the sides of his mouth with his fingers and he stuck his tongue out at May. That was appropriate behavior, I believe. After that, he snatched his basket up again and he tried to rush away from May, but too bad for Sheldon because May stayed right exactly on his heels. They were walking too fast for me to keep up. I stopped and watched them go. Then I did a big sigh and I walked to a tree stump and I sat down very glum. I hate being this dumb bunny, I said, because my feet are too big and my legs are too slow and my pommets are way too clumsy. I slumped my shoulders down and looked in the empty basket. I did another sigh because let's face it, the bunny was a rotten egg. Tomorrow we're going to get to finish this book up, and this is your very last Junie B book of the year. Have a great day.